The Warfare is the ultimate vocation in Dragon's Dogma 2. It gives you the utmost freedom to essentially be able to create any type of class that you want. You can combine magic and melee, archery and magic, or whatever your heart desires. The combinations that you can do with the Warfare are essentially endless, and I'll be showing you how to get it essentially at the beginning of the game if you so desire. Otherwise, this would not be a vocation that you wouldn't find until the very end areas of the game, but I'll be showing you how to get this without having to do any of the story and with no story spoilers involved. There is so much equipment in Dragon's Dogma 2, and the best thing about the Warfarer is it has access to wear any piece of armor or equip any weapon in the game. So when I say this gives you the utmost customizability, not only for combat, but the way you want your character to look, and you can have a lot of fun mix matching different pieces of armor to get different results. Now, the way the Mystic Archer works is you can actually equip multiple weapons, and this will allow you to switch between these weapons instantly during combat. The one downside to this is it does take up one of your 4 skills to be able to do this, which is called rearmament. You can see this when we have to use the rearmament skill to switch between the double blade and the bow, for instance. There really is no reason to equip more than 2 or 3. And the reason for that is you still only get access to 4 different skills, and one of them has to be rearmament if you want to switch between weapons. Now, when you equip the Warfare Vocation, you're going to see that you have access to every weapon skill in the game. The only weapon skills you won't have access to are the weapon skills that you get from the Vocation Maesters, which means essentially the Vocation's ultimate skills. Now, to unlock the highest potential of the Warfare, you'll not only need to rank up the Warfare, but the other vocations that you want to use as well. Initially, you will gain all of the basic versions from the other vocations, but say if you want Powdered Blast, you'll need to level up the Thief to be able to get the enhanced version of Powdered Charge. So it will take a lot of work to be able to truly unlock the full potential of the Warfare. Now let's go over how to unlock the Warfare early. You can do this at any point in time, but if you're going to be doing this extremely early, I recommend bringing a good number of healing potions, as well as anything that can help you recover stamina, like potatoes or Roborants that will give you a nice stamina boost. And the main reason for this is you're going to be running very far and potentially bypassing some strong monsters, so just having those extra stamina and healing potions will certainly help. Now, the first thing you need to do is go to Backbal. There's going to be a few things that we want to pick up in this area. If you're far enough in the story, you can go to the checkpoint rest town, and you can pass through this gate if you have the pass. There is also, on occasion, a really fancy ox cart that goes through this town. If you spot it, you can actually sit inside of this ox cart, and it will eventually take you through this gate without you needing to be checked, which is a really cool tip that I got during a live stream. I don't know how often that cart is there, but the other option would be using one of the bypass routes, which means going around the mountain pass. We actually need to sneak into this second area of the map. There is a border checkpoint here, and if you're far enough in the story, you can actually walk through this checkpoint. But if you have not gotten to this point, we're actually going to need to sneak around, and we're going to have to take the longer route. We will still need to get to the checkpoint rest town, and the fastest way to do this is to go to the city of Vernworth, and you are going to go to the West of Vernworth Oxcart station. If the Oxcart isn't here, you can go to this bell and you can wait for it to arrive, and then you can pay the Oxcart driver 200 gold to take you to the checkpoint rest town. If you don't know about Oxcarts, you can sit down in them and then you can doze off to be able to fast travel there. Now, if you don't want to take the Oxcart or have never been to the checkpoint rest town, you can exit out of the northwest corner of Vernworth, and you can follow this road along this path. You'll then need to go up north and follow this road here and cross this bridge across the river. Then you're going to make your way all the way down through these winding roads, and eventually you'll land in the checkpoint rest town. Now, you don't actually need to go into the checkpoint rest town. You can turn around and start heading back down this road. You're going to want to take the fork down this right path, and then you're going to follow this riverbed all the way along under the bridge and then up into the mountains. You're going to enter a cave right about here, and as you exit the cave, there's going to be a path that you can take up the right side of the mountain. You don't want to continue through this gorge. You want to go up the mountain and start climbing higher up into the mountains, where you'll encounter another road that you can follow. Now, along this road, you're going to see ogres, minotaurs, and many other things, to include perhaps a chimera and even a griffin. You can decide to fight these things, or you can run past them all, but essentially just keep continuing to follow this road, and then eventually you're going to start descending back down the other side of the mountain. You're going to continue descending down this mountain as quick as possible without fighting many things if you're a lower level. You can get great XP here if you can kill these monsters. Otherwise, you can just keep skipping ahead. You'll eventually hit the Thunderclap Cave. If you have a lantern, you can turn it on. but it's a pretty straight shot through the cave, and as you go through this, you'll come out into Batal. You're going to be still on top of a mountain with a waterfall called the Shutram Falls. You do need to be careful here because griffins like to explore this area, and there could possibly be a dragon or drake right down in this corner right here. But essentially, you just need to navigate down this path here and slowly take your time descending down this waterfall. Now, one of the things I highly recommend when you get to this point, if you're lower level and you don't want to fight anything, is to make sure to order your pawns to stay behind. This will prevent them from falling off the waterfall and having to rescue them. Once you descend down the waterfall, you're going to cross the river right here, and you can follow this road right along the riverbed until you get to the main road here, where you're going to cross a bridge, and then you can follow this main road. Once you get about here, instead of following the main road down, you're just going to kind of go along this mountain cliffside right here, meeting up with the road again, and then going up into Backbal. If this is your first time in Backbal, there is no port crystal here, and if you have one, I recommend placing one in this town so you can easily get back to it. But there are 3 items that we need to get to be able to unlock the warfare, and we're going to get them here in Backbal. Or at least we're going to get 2 of them. So you need to follow this path into Backbal, and we're going to pass the Vocation Guild here on the right, and we're going to be heading towards the Wanderer's Haven Tavern. If you are extremely low level, you might want to skip this part. There's another way to get one of the items that we need, but this is how to get one of them for free. When you approach this tavern, you're going to be interrupted by a few people, and they're basically going to jump you. Then somebody is going to interrupt this and say that it should be a fair fight, and you'll have to fight one single person. You can stun lock this person if you want. They move pretty slow, but if you're able to defeat it, you will be rewarded with a fruit wine. Now, if you take a Saurian tail and combine it with the fruit wine, you're going to get one of the liquors that we're going to need later. We're going to need a total of 3 of these. There is one more liquor that we can find here for free. You're going to go past the dye stores towards this exit of Backbal. You can follow this road down, and then you're going to cross this bridge into the Forbidden Research Lab. You're going to cross this bridge into the Research Lab. Now, inside of here, next to this dragon, you can actually find a Seeker's Token if you want. It'll be like right here. And then we need to turn around, and we're going to follow up these steps. Now, there is other items that you can get in this area if you feel like fully exploring it, but we're going to go around this corner, and then right up here we are going to turn right, and we're going to enter into this room right here, which is going to have a bunch of Saurian tails. And then I believe right here is going to be another liquor. Obviously I've already picked it up. There's going to be one in this room somewhere. I'm not sure if it was like on this table or right here, but if you combine the fruit wine with the Saurian tail, then we should have 2 of these liquors ready to go. We will be picking up one more of the liquors for free, but if you want to purchase them or somehow lost yours, you can purchase them at Higgs Tavern stand. When you first come to this area, there's going to be a Beastrin outside of this. You can talk to that Beastrin if you want, and just outside of Higgs Tavern, you're going to find a couple of sacks right here. You can pick one up with the grab button, and then you can drop it inside of this pen. You'll be invited into this tavern, where you then can purchase the liquors for 5,000 apiece. Now we're ready to leave Backbal and do another long run. We're going to exit out this side of Backbal. We're going to follow this road south, and you're going to continue going all the way south along these roads until you can cross this bridge. And then you're going to enter into the Drabnir's Grotto. This is quite the grotto, but you will need to make your way through this maze of a grotto until you exit outside the other side. When you exit out the other side, you're going to meet a nice little dwarf with a painful back. If you want to unlock the Mystic Archer at the same time, then you're going to have to provide this person with some herbs to be able to help their back. Then you need to make your way to the Windwalker's home, which is where we can get our final newt liquor. You can also rest at the campsite here if you need to. Since we helped out this dwarf and he told us to visit at his home, we're actually allowed to enter this building now. As you approach this house, an elf is going to come out that is named Cleodna. This NPC is actually tied to the Mystic Archer questline, so you can complete this as well if you so desire. That don't know, elves and dwarves are notorious for hating each other. This is kind of like one of those forbidden loves. Now the dwarf is going to come back out and say that he's going to give you a reward, and he's going to walk back into the house, and he tells you to wait. But he never actually comes back out, so if you walk into the house, you'll realize that he actually broke his back again, and his elf waifu is very upset with him. The first thing that we really want to pick up is the other newt liquor that we need for this quest, which is actually just sitting on this table to our right as we enter through the door. And we also want to make sure to talk to the dwarf's waifu here. He's going to talk about a nearby hot spring, and if you go up and talk to Gustav, he's going to say you'll still get your reward, but what we're going to do is we're going to offer to escort him. Since it's on our way, we might as well do it. So what you're going to need to do is, so after you finish this conversation, you're actually going to need to grab Gustafer, or however you pronounce his name. I know I've heard it in the game, but we're going to need to carry this big old baby all the way over to the volcanic island camp. It's a pretty straightforward quest line. And we're basically just killing two birds with one stone, because where we're dropping them off is going to be very close to where we're going to be picking up the Warfarer Vocation anyways. Now, once you're in the volcanic island camp, we're going to make our way around this big area here. So we're going to follow this path up. Then we're going to turn right, and we just want to climb up this little ladder right here. If we drop him at the ladder and climb up, he should be able to climb up the ladder, and we can continue carrying him the rest of the way. Just continue forward along this edge, and you're going to see some forwards ahead. Just continue along this edge, and you're going to see some ruins ahead of you, and this is where we need to go. Now, as we approach this area, Lamond is going to tell him that this is going to make him sick. Lamond is actually the character we need to be able to unlock the Warfarer Vocation. Now, this man is a drunk and he wants some newt liquor. Now, once you bring the dwarf a little bit more forward, he's going to fall out of your hands, and you have essentially completed the quest to be able to unlock the magic archer. Now, he goes to have a nice soak, and his waifu comes out to greet us. He followed us and creeped on us a little bit. Now, as we complete this, we get 23,000 gold. We unlock the Magic Archer, and Cleodna is also the Magic Archer Maester, and since we made her happy, we're going to get the Magic Archer Spellbow's Paradox. Pretty nice if I do say so myself. You can go back and talk to Lamond. Every time you talk to him, he's going to offer you some rotten eggs, but instead of accepting this, we want to offer him the newt liquor. So we're going to deliver one of these. The man is obsessed with soft-boiled eggs, and he's probably going to give you another one. We're going to offer him 2 more of the newt liquor, and after this conversation, we will unlock the Warfarer Vocation, and we'll also get the Grandmaster's Path. It's quite nice being able to unlock the Vocation and get the Maester's ability at the same time.